Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet. Happy Monday to you. It is Coach Kyle Evans coming at you from Baton Rouge, Louisiana for another riveting episode of Grow Show. It's been a fun journey, man. It is July 7th. Last month, we talked about resetting. We talked a little bit about this month, guys. We're going to continue forward with a new series, man. Last week, we talked about the Freedom Series. This week, it's one that's near and dear to my heart. It's near and dear to my methodology. It's near and dear to the things I like to talk about. And it's the price of the peak. The price of the peak. Today's episode is called What Winning Really Costs. Here's the thing. Everybody wants the trophy, right? We all want the trophy. Few of us want the training, though. Few of us want to spend the hours doing the work methodically over and over again, consistently, when we don't feel like it. But we all want the trophy. You know, we have a saying in MAPS coaching, everybody wants, but not everybody has the will. My question to you today to be thinking about as we move on for our quick checkup from the neck up is, do you have the will? Because we all have the want. So I want to take a second to welcome you back here, guys. This week, we're not going to be talking about necessarily the wins. We're going to be talking about the weight. The weight. And when I say wins, when I say success, I want to make sure I have a good definition moving forward for the week. When I'm talking about those things, I'm not talking about societal standards. I'm not talking about social media standards or a highlight reel. I'm talking about what success means to you. I'm talking about what winning means to you. It is your definition of it. My goal here is not to make you somebody else's version of success. I want you to be the best type of you can be. I love to tell people, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm somebody's bowl of gumbo. I want you to be your own flavor-packed bowl of gumbo. If you don't know what gumbo is, you haven't lived yet. So, guys, we're not talking about wins by everyone else's standards, but by yours, and also the weight, the true weight that it will take to get to that peak. Everybody wants the prize. Not everybody is willing to pay the price. Every peak costs something. And I think we overlook that sometimes. I think that somewhere along the way, we have gotten so far into instant gratification and having things our way and having the freedom of choice and the freedom of comfort that we forget sometimes that, man, to go to the next level, to move past mediocrity, it takes a cost. It takes a price. I want you to be thinking about this question. Am I actually willing to pay what it takes to get there? And more importantly, am I willing to pay what it takes to stay there? You see, a lot of people struggle with the fear of rejection. They struggle with the fear of the future. But some people struggle with the fear of success. And when I say the fear of success, I mean, am I willing to pay what it takes to stay there? Everybody can be good one day, but can you be good consistently for a career, for years, for a decade? Everything has a bill. Are we willing to pay it? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you don't just climb the mountains, you sign a contract. And that contract usually demands things like sacrifice. Sometimes it demands that you suffer. Sometimes it demands that you stretch. If you don't know what it actually costs, you might already be overpaying. That's the other part of this. We're not just talking about having weight or stretching or suffering for suffering's sake. I'm talking about doing it with intention. Because the last thing that any of us want to do is overpay. And I know the last thing that any of us ever want to do is get it wrong, because we only get one crack at this thing. So what I want to do is be very clear in this beginning episode this week of this series and identify what some of these costs actually are. The real costs, the ones that people don't talk about a lot. right? Not always monetary. The hidden invoice of success. Number one, first and foremost, it's going to cost your comfort. Guys, success, it doesn't grow in your comfort zone. And I know you've heard that before and you hear it so often because it's true, because it's a real thing. Getting up when you don't want to, maybe it's going to bed later than you want to. That's uncomfortable. Working when you're not motivated, I think motivation is a myth. I think true, actual motivation, the one that we crave, the one that we hunt for, the one that we think we are owed, doesn't show up until results show up. And unfortunately, we don't get the results if we don't do the work. So, more often than not, that means doing the work when you're not motivated. That's not comfortable. It's not comfortable saying no to parties or events. Maybe it's not comfortable to say no to weekends off. It's definitely not comfortable to say no to temporary dopamine so you can stay focused on long term rewards. You see, this success as defined by you, this winning, whatever it looks like for you, it's going to cost your comfort. It is. My first few years in real estate, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The first couple years, I lived in comfort. And let me tell you how successful I was. wasn't. I wasn't. I had to understand that comfort is cheap, but mastery is expensive. I had to understand the tension between working nights and weekends while all of my friends were clocking out at 5. I had to understand that sometimes the extra work isn't showing houses, but it's reading, it's studying, it's practicing in the quiet, in the dark, when no one's looking or cheering for you. It's putting in the time, in the reps. Another huge cost that you're going to have to come to terms with, unfortunately, maybe fortunately, it's going to cost your relationships. It's going to cost relationships. Growth forces decisions that not everybody understands. Unfortunately, a lot of times it's the people closest to you who don't understand your decisions for growth, your decisions for change, your decisions for stretching, your decisions to become something better than you are. Friends fade out. They do. Sometimes because you've changed, but other times because maybe you stop staying small for their comfort. And when I say friends fade out, guys, what I'm telling you is this: I don't mean it in like a malicious or mean or bad way, or like, oh, we can't sit together anymore. I don't like that person. No, I'm talking about it's okay to love people from afar. It's okay if your journeys part in the woods and you go one way and another goes another. I am the biggest cheerleader for just about everybody. I want everybody to win, whatever that looks like for them. And I'm also comfortable in understanding in the fact that my journey is not everyone else's. And that's okay. Everyone gets to live their own life. That's one of the beautiful things that we have. And I want them to live it how they want to. Do you know how much ego it takes for someone to say that someone's living their life wrong? By that definition, that means that you get to quantify what living your life right looks like. It's okay to love people from afar. It's okay to understand that just because you're not on the same journey, just because you're not talking every day or being in the exact same circle, it doesn't mean that you are their enemy or that you think less of them or you want less for them. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, the people who celebrate you at the start, they might not stay when you separate from the pack. That's okay. No judgment, no shame. It's just a fact. It's going to cost your relationships. You see, when I'm talking about cost, when I'm talking about costing of comfort and costing of relationship, I want you to understand to change, to grow, to truly shift and level up, as people like to say these days, It's going to cost your old identity. It's going to cost your old identity. Every upgrade, every change, every new life requires a death. The version of you who played it safe, maybe the version of you who blamed others. Lord knows that was me. Still is sometimes, working on it, work in progress. Maybe it's the you who avoided hard conversations. That version of you, it can't come with you. It can't. You see, I think one of the things about success and growth and winning and whatever you want to call it for you, we always think about the reward of it. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm going to hit this, I'm going to do this, help people, change lives, change my own life, make money, be comfortable, whatever it is. I think the thing that is underlying that we don't talk about is sometimes there's grief involved. Sometimes there's real grief that will be along the way because it means burying the version of you who settled. Means burying comfort. Sometimes it means getting away from relationships. Sometimes these relationships have been with you for a long time. Sometimes it means dealing with rejection, being laughed at, being misunderstood. I don't want to be understood. One of the things that I know, and it's such a catch 22 of life, is the fact that most people want to be normal, right? They want to be liked by the masses and not rock the boat. And have you looked around at normal right now? It's not that awesome. It's like 60% of people hate their jobs. Divorce is at an all-time high. Obesity is at an all-time high. You have kids who don't connect with their parents. You have relationships who are in the same room but further apart than ever before. I don't want normal. We have to understand that it's going to cost our old identity, and that's okay. Guys, if you want to lead the orchestra, you're going to have to turn your back on the crowd sometimes, and that's okay. But you got to know what the cost is. I want you to understand these costs. Most people, they don't actually want success. Most people, they want status. And if it's just us girls here being honest, that was me in the beginning. 100%. I'm comfortable enough to admit it. The version of success I was chasing for a long time had nothing to do with success itself. It had everything to do with status. I wanted to be cool. I wanted applause. I wanted the rewards, but I wanted them without the receipts. That's how burnout happens. When you chase something that you don't fully understand or value, or when you chase the thing for the wrong reason. That was me. It took a long time to understand that. This is one of the reasons I'm constantly preaching to you guys to spend some time talking to yourself, journaling, brain dumping, writing things down, getting crystal clear on who you are and what success looks like to you. What do you want your business to look like? What do you want your business to feel like? Do you even know? I used to think I wanted 1,000 agents on this team and be number one and all the stuff. And do we still want that? Sure, but I don't want it at the sake or the cost of everything else to get that. If it happens organically, awesome. But what I'm more into now is how can I help change some people's lives? How can I build a world big enough that everyone else's dreams fits inside of? How can I come alongside them and be what I know who I am, what I understand my journey, my calling is to be an amplifier to people, to amplify them. Unfortunately, I have I come across people all the time, they want 100,000, 200,000, 300, $400,000 a year, but they're not willing to deal with rejection. They're not willing to make some cold calls or even call their database or host open houses. They're not willing to lead a team meeting. They're not willing to take feedback. They want mountaintop money, but they got basement habits. So I want you to understand these costs. because we can't always just want, we have to be willing to do the things. Here are three core things I want you to think about when it comes to peak performance. Number one is time. Time. What is the cost there? What is the debt that is owed? What is the payment that must happen? It's going to be time. Time spent alone learning the craft, mastering the reps. One of the things that I love about the health journey that I've been on and will be on the rest of my life is that no one can do it for you. Trust me, I wish that it could be different, but it's not. It's time spent with you, battling your voice, battling your motivation, battling your intentionality. Are you going to do it or are you not? One of the things that I love so much about speaking to crowds is that when the doors close and the lights come on and there are hundreds of eyes on you, the question is, did you do enough to win the day? And the day to win the day, it means that you are going to change someone's life and you are going to be of value and benefit to them. Did you do the work? Did you practice? Did you study? Did you read the books? I love that. Guys, it's going to be time when we're talking about the discipline of time blocking. A lot of us do time squares or time circles. I'm time blocking, Kyle. Are you? Are you? Define block. I don't just mean a square. I mean to keep out everything that is danger of it or knocking us off track or changing our focus or our habits. Are you time blocking the discipline and the sacrifices that actually need to be made? With time, you may have said this. I know I've said this before until it was coached into me. People say they don't have enough time. Poo, poo. You got enough time. What they mean is they haven't made the dream or the goal clear or important enough. When I hear that you don't have time, what I really hear is your priorities are wrong. Love you, mean it. That's just a fact. One of the other core costs of peak performance is energy. And I don't always just mean physical energy, I mean emotional energy, emotional labor. Guys, to work on yourself, truly work on yourself internally, it's going to take energy. The energy of decision fatigue, the energy of saying no to shiny things to stay focused on the boring but powerful, the energy drain that's demanded of leadership, pouring into people even when your own cup is low, pouring into people even when you're scared or nervous or wondering, the physical energy that it demands to work harder, longer, maybe stronger than the competition. It's going to cost energy. It's going to cost time. It's going to cost attention. And when I say attention, I mean the price of focus in a distracted world. You guys understand how hard it is to focus now? They say this might be the last generation who can sit in a movie theater and watch a full length film. Focus is a fleeting thing. Are you building yours or is it depleting? You don't just pay attention, you're investing it. Because last time I checked, we only have a finite amount of time. Not just in the day, I'm talking about this life. Attention you spend scrolling, comparing, doubting, it's expensive and it compounds. It compounds. And as I get older, I understand that the velocity of time keeps picking up faster and faster. The years go faster and faster. Your attention costs more than you know. Are you overpaying it to the wrong thing? My final question for you today before I let you get back on your way and have this great week is I want you to ask yourself, is it worth it? And what I mean by that is like, what are you chasing? Like, is it even worth the price that you're paying? Again, I spent years chasing the wrong thing and it wasn't worth it. And that's okay. Gary Keller says in The One Thing, if you're walking down the wrong direction, turn around. Change your direction. It's your life. It's okay. We set up these inappropriate time horizons on ourselves. We were talking about this on the ruck on Saturday. The pressure that we put on ourselves and young people to have their life figured out by 18? For what? Do you understand that the average career is 20 to 25 years? And people easily work into their 60s and sometimes 70s? That means that you could start at 50 and work an entire career in a field and still retire. You don't have to have your life figured out by 18. You don't have to have your life figured out by 30. Guys, you don't have to have your life, God willing, figured out by 40. But you do need to figure it out. If you've been walking down a wrong path or you find yourself in a lane that no longer suits you, change it. Because hustling for hustle's sake, it doesn't lead to purpose. Some of us are exhausted because we're building a version of success that doesn't even fit our soul. Maybe we don't need to quit. Maybe we just need clarity. Maybe we just need a tweak, a change of direction, even if it's a simple degree shift. I want you to ask yourself, what have I already sacrificed? What am I continuing to sacrifice? Is the ROI, is the return on investment emotional and financial? And is it worth it? Sometimes what's expensive is still worth it. I'm not saying that because it costs a lot, it's not worth it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, are you paying the right thing? The question is what I'm building worthy of the costs? Because I know this, if it's just purely for finances, people around their deathbeds are not like, bring me my stuff so I can pass. Bring me my jet ski so I can pass on it. No, they say, bring me the people who meant the most to me, the relationships, the things that are actually important. Is what you're building worth the cost? Just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's not still worth it. But do you know? Guys, the peak, it doesn't just belong to the skilled, it belongs to the sold out. Selling out 100% into what your version, no one else's, not social media, your version of success looks like. Are you committed to it or is it just a goal? What is success costing you right now? And are you paying it with intention or are you just reacting blindly? My challenge to you is to spend some time journaling on this, thinking about it, meditating on it, ruminating about it. What has this dream cost me so far? And what will it take to continue? And is that worth it to me? Not to your mama, not to Frank down the street, not to whatever clubs you're about. Is it worth it to you? And then I want you to share it. I want you to share this idea of this vision with a spouse, a mentor, a partner. Talk it out. Put language to this invisible pressure. We're going to spend some time in the deep depths this week, ladies and gentlemen. You think the climb is hard? Wait until you've arrived. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the weight of winning and how to carry pressure of success without breaking. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for sharing your morning with me. Coach Kyle Evans, I will see you tomorrow.